Hey guys, Kiki here, Sundays for TheRealvolution, and this week we're kind of doing a cooking tutorial, and unfortunately my kitchen is not usable at this time. I am so sorry. It was supposed to be. Over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've been kind of ripping my house and putting it back together again, and my kitchen was supposed to be ready this morning, and it's not going to be ready for a few more hours yet. And if I waited and actually did the cooking tutorial then and editing, uploading, it'll be past midnight more than likely. So I thought I'd go ahead and do what Carla did without the lovely drawings and kind of just talk about a specific recipe. This is actually, I have company coming over tonight, and this is actually what I'm making, and which is pan-seared pork chops with spiced carrots. And yes, pork chops and carrots too. I mean, I don't eat a lot of meat, but I tend to more white meat than red meat, and pork chops are one of my favorite types of meat, other than fish. And carrots are my favorite vegetable pretty much ever. So I eat spiced carrots quite often, actually. What you can do with, what you do with the recipe is you get, you make a marinade of lemon juice, orange zest, garlic, and rosemary. And you can put that into a good sized baggie or a container that has a lid. And you'll go ahead and wash off your pork chops, make sure they're nice and clean, kind of pat them dry, stick them in the marinade, make sure they're covered. You might want to move around a little bit while they're marinating, and you want to marinate them for at least 2 hours overnight if possible. You can substitute chicken, fish, or tofu for this, and you cook them the same way. Cooking times will be a little different, but you can substitute. Now, while that's marinating, or when you're ready to go ahead and cook, what you're going to do is put some oil. I use extra virgin olive oil. Cover the bottom of a pan and bring that to a simmer. And while that's heating up, you're going to take your pork chops out, maybe dab them a bit. You're not going to want to, get all the juice out, but at least where it's not dripping. And once the oil is simmering, you'll go ahead and toss them into the pan. You'll sear them on both sides till they're nice golden brown. It's usually like 3 to 5 minutes on each side. Make sure they're thoroughly cooked afterward. And yes, and that's what you would do for the pork chops. The carrots, I tend to use whole carrots. You can also use baby carrots. With whole carrots, I peel them and then I cut them in halves, maybe quarters, depending on the size of the carrot. If it's a big carrot, I'll cut it in quarters. If it's a medium to small size carrot, just cut it in half because it will shrink while it's cooking. So large slices are much better. You could also use baby carrots, keep them whole, or cut them in half if you'd like. And what you would do is, once you've had them cut like you want, you're going to toss them with some olive oil and then toss them into the oven at 400 for about 20 minutes. Once they're nice and cooked and they'll be tender-ish, and they might have a bit golden brown to them, kind of like some cookie bits. You can also boil them if you'd rather. You don't have to bake them, but I prefer them baked. Yes, once you've gotten them cooked, you can toss them into a bowl with a little more olive oil, or you can use butter if you'd like, with nutmeg and cinnamon, and toss them and nutmeg to cinnamon to taste. If you notice, no measurements because I don't actually really use them. I know I'd asked Jamie for the measurements on his, but that's more of just so I can have an idea. I don't tend to measure anything. I kind of eyeball everything. I'd have to say the closest I'd have to say, if you're going to do like 2 pork chops, I would say a cup of lemon juice and 1 medium-sized orange amount of zest, like half a clove of garlic, and I don't know on the rosemary. I seriously do not measure it for the marinade. And then for the carrots, really, it's just to taste, really. But yes, that's the recipe. You could, as I said before, with the carrots, you don't have to bake them. You can boil them instead, but I tend to like the baked thing because it keeps the flavor to the carrots, and I love the flavor of carrots. I eat raw carrots quite often, actually. But yes, that is the recipe that I was going to do this week. Again, guys, I'm so sorry I couldn't do this in the kitchen, and I will see you guys next week.